Well, my fine chap who is known as Armine Tamesarian, but more affectionately known as Walter Seymour Skinner, and who works as the principal of Springfield Elementary. I have finally reached your whereabouts, despite the misleading directions you gave me to get here. Ah, my good man who is known as Gary Chalmers III, and who works as a superintendent of the same school I work at, I bid you my finest greetings. I take it you've been busy preparing for a luncheon that will be so memorable, one could easily call it unforgettable. An interjection used to express my indifference. An interjection used to express my complete shock. An exclamatory interjection used to express that I'm in of great grief. The roast that I had prepared for lunch today, which turned out to be the only roast I had left in my inventory, has burned to the point that it can no longer be edible. However, perhaps if I ran out to the fast food restaurant known as Krusty Burger, managed to purchase a tray of hamburgers, and faked it out as my own kind of cooking, Chalmers wouldn't notice. An interjection used to express my highly cheeky personality and joy times 5. I must admit that this plan is rather delightful as well as a tad mischievous. What ho!
The man who is known as Armine Tamesarian but more affectionately known as Walter Seymour Skinner and who works as the principal of Springfield Elementary is rather well known for his very absurd explanations, the likes of which drives the man who is known as Gary Chalmers III and who works as the superintendent of the same school to the point of his life where he will need to take his prescriptions. As a matter of fact, when Gary hears Seymour's rather lame kinds of exaggerations, then chaos is presumed to happen in the town of Springfield at a day like today.
If I could have your undivided attention, Seymour. Gary Chalmers, what a surprise to see you. You just caught me in between my isometric exercises, which I do by stretching my leg muscles on my kitchen windowsill. Do you wish to join me in this pastime? Actually, Seymour, I would like to ask you why on earth is smoke emitting from the inside of your electric oven? On the contrary, Chalmers, that thing you are currently witnessing is not smoke, but instead it is steam. This steam, I must explain to you, is from the dish we are having that consists of using vaporized water to heat soft-shelled clams, more commonly known as steamed clams. I can assure you with my gestures that these steamed clams will be very delicious, and I hope you enjoy them for lunch today. An interjection used to express my relief. All right then, Superintendent Chalmers, I hope that you've taken time to prepare to consume these hamburgers I bring for lunch today. Forgive me, Seymour, but if I can recall, you said that we would be consuming steamed clams for lunch today. Actually, Chalmers, that's where you may be wrong, for I believe you misheard slightly. What I said in actual fact is steamed hams. This is the way I like to refer hamburgers to. So am I right in assuming that you refer to hamburgers as steamed hams? In actual fact, yes I do. To be more specific, it's a special dialect that we use in a single region. I see. But what region are you specifically referring about, may I inquire? I believe in an upstate area of the county of New York. I can hardly believe what you said. The reason is because I originally come from Utica, and over there I, in my personal experience, have not heard one person use the phrase of steamed hams. And I think you might have just coined it for yourself. Actually, I didn't mention Utica being the place where they speak of steamed hams. In truth, the location I am indeed referring to is in Albany. I understand. If I could have your attention please, I have noticed how similar your steamed hams are to the kinds of hamburgers they serve at Krusty Burger. Once again, that is where you are wrong. In truth, these are actually patented as Skinner burgers. It's an old but secret family recipe, though whose family I have no idea, since there are too many Skinners out in the world that may or may not relate to me. And this so-called family recipe applies to steamed hams? Indubitably. And you still insist in calling them steamed hams when in my obvious mindsight they have been grilled on a fast food oven. Actually, the thing is, I had actually. You know what? Dash it all. Please excuse me for just a brief moment in time. Of course you may. An interjection used to express my tiredness. Well, Chalmers, what a wonderful time we had. In fact, I can exaggerate in saying that this good time was to be experienced by everyone in this kitchen, and I can also add in that I'm rather tired. Seymour, I too am also tired, and was just about to. An exclamatory interjection used to express my great shock. I must ask of you to explain what on earth is going on behind that door. I think it is something that only happens in icy cold territory and is known as aurora borealis. You expect me to believe that over there is the real aurora borealis at this time of year, at this time of day, in this coordination of the entire world, and what resides completely in the kitchen area of your house. Exactly. In that case, do you mind if I had a look at this phenomenon? I'd rather not.
Seymour, who coincidentally is my son that I just so happened gave birth to, I would like to interject for a moment to tell you that our little residence has spontaneously combusted.
Actually, my fair lady who is known as Agnes Skinner and is currently the only parent that I live with, I just told Gary Chalmers, one of the many men you are apparently in love with, that it just so happens to be what is more commonly known as the Northern Lights. Well, Seymour, coming to the conclusion after that lunchtime we spent together, I can safely remark that you are one of the most strangest of people I have ever met, but also, I can tell everybody now that you, quote-unquote, steam a good ham. I expect to do this again sometime soon, if that's okay with you.
An interjection used to express my state of danger where someone is required to rescue me from said danger times 2.